and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, February 11th. We begin with big news in the racing world. Penske Entertainment just announced Doug Boles as the new president of both IndyCar and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He will succeed Jay Fry. Doug Boles brings decades of motorsport experience to his new responsibilities, including being the president of Indianapolis Motor Speedway since 2013. He oversaw the sellout of the 100th Indianapolis 500, the first full-capacity crowd in the event's storied history. He has managed more than $150 million in strategic investment at the racing capital of the world. In other news, it is the top priority of Governor Mike Braun, and it could take a step forward today: a cap on property taxes. A state Senate committee is scheduled to vote on the proposal. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez reports.
Senate Bill 1 would reduce property taxes in a few ways. The first would be an increase in the homestead exemption, but it also puts a 3% cap on the annual increase in property taxes for seniors, families with children, and low-income households. That cap is set at 2%. The projected cost of this bill, though, was determined by the Legislative Services Agency. That's the nonpartisan group in charge of calculating the financial impact of bills. The agency says that under that plan, local governments could lose $1.2 billion in revenue next fiscal year alone. The Braun administration says governments would need to only make a small adjustment to the reduced increase in revenue. However, local mayors from both political parties have said that the bill could result in major cuts to city services. Legislative Services also says the tax plan would mean less money for every single school district in the state. Collectively, a cut of almost $2 billion over the next 3 years. The three school districts in central Indiana impacted the most would be Indianapolis Public Schools. The estimate from the Legislative Services Industry Services says IPS would lose about $69 million over that 3-year period. The agency also says Carmel Clay Schools would see a hit of about $76 million, and Hamilton Southeastern Schools would lose about $81 million. The Senate Tax and Fiscal Policy Committee is set to take a vote on that this morning. Their meeting is set to start at 8. Reporting from the State House, I'm Hernan Gutierrez for WishTV.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is now directing the military to pause the integration of any new transgender troops and to suspend any planned medical procedures to support trans troops. The order came in a memo dated for February 7th and is said to be effective now. That move follows the executive order from President Trump titled Prioritizing Military Excellence and Readiness that would effectively ban trans service members entirely. The administration claims to be combating, quote, gender insanity in the federal government. In other news, police have arrested a man from Chicago following a chase across southern Indiana that ended in Bartholomew County. State police say it started yesterday morning after Scottsburg police were called to a gas station robbery. Officers say they spotted a suspect's vehicle on I-65 in Jackson County. Police say the vehicle sped away from them, then exited onto State Road 46 in Columbus. When the driver tried to get back onto the interstate, state police say a trooper used a pit maneuver to cause the vehicle to spin out and come to a stop. Investigators say the driver, Brown Champion, faces several preliminary charges stemming from the robbery and chase. IMPD's latest community day takes them to the Salvation Army. The department says their 30th recruit class volunteered at the Salvation Army's rehab program and donation center downtown. Recruits help staff sort donations, and they also met with those in the rehab program.
It's not all like guns, drugs, and gung-ho kicking in doors. It's people. We're in the people business. We're in helping people business, even if it's helping them from themselves.
IMPD says community days help show recruits the community's needs and allows them to build connections. Let's talk sports. The Super Bowl registered record ratings for the second year in a row. That's according to preliminary estimates. Sunday's big game on Fox averaged 126 million viewers across all platforms. If the number holds, it marks a 2% increase over last year's record-breaking game on CBS. Fox said viewership peaked in the second quarter when nearly 136 million people were tuned into the game. When it comes to the weather, You can expect cloudy conditions to start. Storm Track 8 says more is coming with a messy weather pattern ahead. Meteorologist Ryan Morris has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
Now tomorrow, that's a different story. We'll start with this, but in the afternoon it might turn a bit messy if you are headed out on the roads. Just a heads up there. The reason being, multiple forms of precipitation are on the table for tomorrow. Live look at Carmel, sitting under the clouds, temperature at the freezing mark. Same thing. Looks exactly like what we have downtown. Overall, forecast for today keeps these clouds in place. Current look at Storm Tracker, we have snow showers in southern Indiana wrapping up west to east. Never really got in central Indiana, mist to our south like we were talking about yesterday. And the broader picture, winter weather advisories are starting to get trimmed back from that first system, but plenty of alerts out to our west. The pink color is winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories in purple. That's all ahead of the system that's going to be developing for tomorrow. And I am anticipating some of those alerts to get extended into Indiana, especially northwestern parts of the state. Futurecast for today, snow wraps up west to east in southern Indiana, lingering some flurries into the evening hours, but overall the bulk of the snowfall done in the coming hours. Today's forecast, temperatures in the upper 30s for highs. Winds out of the northeast at about 10 miles an hour, gusting 20, maybe even up to 25 miles an hour. But temperatures statewide for today, most stay in the 30s. 36 in Muncie, 37 in Columbus, and 34 in Richmond. Our pattern turning busier. Not only do we have the system for tomorrow, which all eyes are on, we have another one arriving for the weekend. I'll have the latest on both coming up in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Ryan's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, February 11th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.